Hi everyone, welcome to Chalchitra Talks. मेरा नाम वाणी है and in this episode I am going to reveal the book for the month of June. And the book is Remnants of Separation. The first time I saw this book, it was 2018 and I was fascinated by the cover of the book. And it's actually the grandmother of the author Anjal Malhotra. And I'm so glad a lot of you actually picked up and were very interested to read the book Remnants of Separation. We did a poll on Instagram, on YouTube, Discord, and everywhere else. And out of 10 books, we selected the top 4. And of those top 4, we then did a poll in the book club, and our godfathers and gladiators voted for their choice, and Remnants of a Separation came out at the top, and I'm so excited about it. And I'm also proud of all the book club members who picked up this book. There were other great books as well in the poll, so that's not a problem and that's not an issue at all. But I'm so glad that we're going to read Remnants of a Separation for the month of June. What makes it even more special is that I was dying to read it with everyone in the community, and we'll finally be doing it. So I'm very excited for it, and I hope you guys like this pick, and I'll see you in the last week of June where we'll probably meet together and discuss the book. As for How Do You Live, we did a group session on Zoom with our godfathers and gladiators, whosoever wanted to join in on the discussion. And we actually discussed a lot of things about How Do You Live. I know that How Do You Live, the journey was underwhelming for a lot of people. But here is my take on the book, How Do You Live? Now, I was very excited when we picked up the book. And there's a movie coming out on the same book, which is going to be directed by Hayao Miyazaki. That was one of the reasons why I was so excited. The other reason was the foreword was written by Neil Gaiman. But I felt a little underwhelmed when I started reading the book. And I think a lot of people who were present on the call when we were discussing this book agreed on the same fact. The book has been divided into 2 major parts. One is being narrated by the boy and is the story of the boy, who's our protagonist. The other is his uncle, who kind of comes in for the preachy vibe. And I think the flow is very good until the uncle interrupts it. Now, for me, and I have to confess it here, there were parts where I just skipped. And those parts were majorly of the uncle. And then I would come back to reading them again when I would feel a little too guilty of skipping those parts. But I think if the movie is going to cover most of the boys' parts, it's going to be wonderful because there are so many things that you will actually relate to. Growing up with your friends, having snowball fights or having fights and not taking a stand for them, and sometimes just regretting things you could have done for them and you did not do later on. Or sometimes just going all out for your friends and going all out for what you believe in as a child, and why it's so important to formulate certain philosophies early on in life. And that is something that this book, How Do You Live, beautifully covers. If you're someone who's interested in tofu making, you will actually kind of get insights for that as well. But overall, I just think it was one book that was slightly underwhelming for me. It was a children's book which tried too hard to be for adults. That is what I felt. And I know there are so many people who actually loved reading it, and kudos to them, and I feel so happy for them that they actually found connect with a book like How Do You Live. I'm very excited for the movie, but I'm even more excited to start my reading journey of Remnants of a Separation. And we'll be discussing this book in the last week of June. I am hoping we'll do a Zoom call again with all the members of the book club that we have on WhatsApp. But you can also stay updated with my progress by signing up for a book a month emails in the description below. And we'll also be discussing them separately on Discord, Twitter, Instagram, wherever a thread opens. But do keep me updated with your progress as well about the book on Instagram and elsewhere. And I will see you for a book a month discussion in the last week of June.